1 to 3 differentiation factors. I think if you have too many differentiation factors, you're not really truly able to become the best at any of them. You're just going to be good or just okay at them.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I wanna be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today, as the Edmonton business consultant, we're talking about business plan market differentiation factors. Again, as the Edmonton business consultant, we're talking about the business plan market differentiation factors. I have Tyson here with me today.
Hello.
Tyson, would you say most small businesses are super clear on who they are relative to their competitors when they start out?
Not necessarily.
No. They know they're an electrician, but they don't know what sets them apart from the other electricians.
Exactly.
So the quote that we have here today, the quote that we use for business planning is, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. It's a Benjamin Franklin quote. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Palo Alto tells us that if you complete a business plan, you are 50% more likely to grow your revenue than businesses that don't complete a business plan. And the story that we have here is we have business owners, and they come in and they're trying to be everything to everyone. However, at the end of the day, if you try to be everything to everyone, they end up not being the best at anything. That way, they're only good at things, and they end up having to compete on price. If you're not the best at this, you're going to have to compete on price, and then they get into that doom loop of they have to charge the lowest fees and use the worst staff and use the worst materials and provide the lowest quality and cut corners, and it's an unsustainable model. So, Tyson, what are the questions that these business owners should be asking regarding their differentiation factors in their business plan?
Yeah, first, how many key differentiation factors do you recommend?
I normally tell business owners no more than 3. I like that number 3. I use it over and over sometimes, but I'm thinking 1 to 3 differentiation factors. I think if you have too many differentiation factors, you're not really truly able to become the best at any of them. You're just going to be good or just okay at them. But if you really key in on some of them, it's not that you ignore the rest of the differentiation factors. You still try to be good at them, but let's be really specific about which ones we're going to try to be the best at.
How does being clear on your important differentiation factors help advertising?
So, today's advertising world, more so than ever before, there's so much information being provided to consumers. So even if, let's say you could be the best at everything for everyone, if you listed out all those differentiation factors on an advertisement, the consumer would hear none of it because it would take too long. And people just don't have the attention span to look at documents that are overly complex or watch videos that are too long from a company that they don't know who they are. So those differentiation factors, they got to be really succinct. And if they're really succinct, you can put it onto an advertisement. Think that I got to shrink this down to a Facebook ad or a Google AdWords or a 30-second YouTube commercial. We got to be really clear on what those differentiation factors are, because that's going to allow us to develop really high impact advertising.
Can you differentiate by pursuing niche customers?
Yeah, so you think about if you're a general contractor and you're a general contractor that only does chiropractic clinics, that's super differentiated. And if you approach a chiropractor, to renovate his clinic, and he knows that you've set up all of these other chiropractic clinics, it just removes that barrier where they think that, that hesitation that they think that you don't know what you're doing, because obviously you've done it before to a number of, for a number of people who in a similar circumstance to yours. So you certainly can differentiate yourself by focusing on niche customers.
Right. Can you differentiate by having unique features and qualities?
Yeah, so you're the only person with the 3-year warranty, and all of your competitors have a 2-year warranty. You think about the various cell phones that some of them have a better megapixel camera. That's a unique feature that's different. That's why they're not going to buy the cheapest phone. They're going to buy your phone because it has a better camera on it. Businesses are like that too. You know, you're the dentist who gives the digital modeling of the teeth versus the one who, you know, just sits you in the chair and you're not really sure what's going on inside your mouth. It's those unique features that you can use to differentiate yourself.
Can you differentiate by pursuing a specific location?
Yeah, you certainly can. I think a lot of small businesses do that intrinsically. They think, okay, well, I'm trying to capture business from the town that I'm in, but you can go even more specific than that. A lot of them should go more specific than that because of budget constraints and competitors, and they can be the only one in not just their town, but their neighborhood or 3 or 4 neighborhoods around that are in that space, or maybe one quadrant of the city or one half of the city. So you certainly can differentiate yourself by a specific location.
Can the facilities, equipment, or software you have be a differentiation factor?
Yeah, you might be the only. Maybe you're the electrician, but you have the picker truck, and you can get to the high reach areas that your competitors can't get to. If you have specific equipment that can help you do the work a little bit more quicker. I mean, you look behind us. We have different equipment that other accounting firms don't have, which allows us to be a little more efficient and charge flat fees. So those, equipment can be a differentiator. Maybe you have software that makes it easier for the customer to interact with you and book appointments with you. Or maybe your facility is just bigger. You can house more stuff in that facility than your competitors can. So those things, real hard assets, let's call them, they can be differentiating factors.
Okay. Why should most businesses with low barriers to entry focus on branding?
I think branding it should be one of the differentiation factors. Although we're listing out a whole bunch of differentiation factors, this one should be like in bold letters, branding, because most businesses, especially small businesses, are started with low barriers to entry. Let's talk about even an accounting firm. Yeah, if you want to be a CPA firm, I guess you have to have your CPA. It takes a while. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of CPAs out there. And it's not like you have to spend $1 million to start a CPA firm. You don't have to do it. But the branding is something that you can protect. Whereas, some industries, let's say you want to, what if you want to store the human genome? You wanted to store DNA for clients, and it costs, $10 million to build a basic laboratory that can store that DNA. They have a relatively high barrier to entry. And the branding might not be as important to a business like that because you have that huge barrier to entry before anybody can do it. But in most businesses, there's relatively low barrier to entry. And one of the only true ways that you can all differentiate yourself from your competitors is that brand, because your competitors can always buy that same equipment that you have. They can always offer the same payment terms that you're going to do, but it's very difficult and time consuming for them sometimes to recreate the brand that you're creating.
Mm-hmm. Can the payment methods and terms be a differentiator?
Yeah, they certainly can. Yeah, I used that one before, and it definitely can be a differentiator. So they're shopping around to all your competitors, and all your competitors want the money up front. And you're the only one who's allowing them to pay monthly. You're the only one with financing in place that they can pay by the month. That tends to be a very powerful differentiator. Maybe sometimes it's as simple as you're the only one accepting credit card. That'll work too. So those payment methods and terms can be a really powerful differentiator, and a lot of times they're very easy to set up.
Mm-hmm. Can the certifications, experience, and longevity of staff be a differentiator?
Yeah, so you got to look at are you just an electrician, or maybe you're the master electrician? You can pull the permits. That's a different certification than some of your competitors, and it also comes down to the experience as well. So maybe you have different experience that you've been doing it for not just a year, but you've been doing it for 5 or 10 or 20 years. That's a definite differentiator, and it can be used to attract your clients because it gives them more assurance that you can do the work correctly.
Right. Is the staff experience different than organizational longevity and reputation?
It is. That's one that people get hung up on, especially new entrepreneurs, because a lot of new entrepreneurs were very, I'll call them high-level technicians in the business they were in. They were the one of the top accountants at the accounting firm that they started. They were the best electrician on the crew. They were a top level dentist at the clinic that they were operating on. But then they start a brand new business, and now all of a sudden they fail to realize that it's not their experience that translates over. Now it's a brand new brand and brand new business. And to the customer base, they have no idea who you are. All they know is you are the new kid on the block. So once you can build that organizational longevity, it can be very powerful. And, it can really make it difficult sometimes for those upstart businesses to recreate that, even though they might have similar experience on the team.
Right. Can convenience and customer experience be a differentiator?
Yeah, 100%. Convenience and customer experience can definitely be a differentiator if we can make it easy or for the clients to do business with us, or just a more pleasant experience. A lot of times businesses, they have to, break down what are all the interactions with the customers? What is all the feedback that you've been giving with the customers? Are there common issues that we can, completely prevent? Or maybe there's just common experiences that they don't expect at all. It's just the wow factors of what you can do for them. You have, better coffee for them to drink when they come in. You have, better material for them to read or watch while they're in your waiting room. You can use the customer experience, every interaction with the customer, every email out to the customer, make it, more pleasant, more well written. That can be a differentiator for sure. So I think that's what we have here today. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you tips on how to beat the odds at business. And as always, we look forward to any comments that you have. Please leave them below so we can respond back and use any input that you have for future videos. Thanks very much.